Welcome to PEP Talk with Salah Marie Young and Suitauloa Simon Young, and today's special guest, Tiare Rose, founder of Tiare Rose Cosmetics.
We're actually going to spend a little bit of time. Last week we spoke about ourselves, which is always a bit uncomfortable, eh?
Totally.
But today we're excited to be taking some time to know a little bit more about Tiare Rose. So first of all, welcome, and would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So kia ora na tātou katoa I te aroa mātou te atua, ko Tiare Rose tuku ingo. I am born and raised in Mangere East. I am of Cook Island descent. My whānau hei from the island of Pukapuka, Rarotonga and Aitutaki. So pretty much a big old fruit salad. I am the eldest of three. I currently reside in Clover Park, and I'm the founder of Tiare Rose Cosmetics, which is a thank you, Marie, which is a business specializing in handmade vegan lipwear products. So they serve a dual purpose. They're both skincare and cosmetic based as well.
Amazing. And it's so great to, and as you can see, we've got really shiny lips this morning, and probably during our Talanoa, we'll actually be like reapplying. It's
promo.
Beautiful. Congratulations. What an amazing accomplishment. Would you be able to share some of the values, or what actually inspired you on your journey of entrepreneurship, small business owner?
Yeah, I think for me, like, obviously when people ask that question, it's like there's so many words to be able to pick one. But I think for me, my three core values is that I am faith-based. I grew up in a Christian household. I am very family-oriented, and I've recently become a wannabe fitness and health fanatic. And I feel like those three values or three pillars of my life have kind of steered me towards entering into entrepreneurship. Having a strong faith kind of gives you the courage to be able to be like, oh, I can step out and do something that is actually not a part of my narrative, or something that's, people wouldn't usually see people like myself do. So when I stepped into entrepreneurship, so for me, I like to identify as like a makeup minimalist, or better yet, someone that doesn't know how to do makeup. And so I was always somebody who just wanted to grab something really quick and then just look like I made an effort and hit the road. And so lip gloss and coconut oil was like my go-to. I went to Sephora, I think. Have you heard of Fenty Gloss Bar?
Of course.
Tried the sample. Was amazing. Felt beautiful. Felt like $1 million. And I looked at the price, and it was pretty much $1 million to buy it. And I was just like, what? No, this is crazy. So I did my research, tried to find, another brand, Molding Pacific actually, to see if there was anything that catered to them. There wasn't. And I was like, all right. I think it's my calling. I'm just gonna take a leap of faith. I love lip gloss. I've always had like that entrepreneurial spirit. And I feel like a lot of Molding Pacific do as well. Like it's just embedded in them. And so I just took the leap of faith. And then in July 2021, I actually launched my business. But I did stop selling at the end of 2022. Just a lot of other commitments came back. But now I'm back on it again. It feels so freeing to be back in a space that I've always wanted to be in, and that has been my calling, but I feel like I just strayed away. But yeah, it's been a long journey. I feel like I'm brand new again, even though the business did launch in 2021. I still feel like I'm back to the start, which is fine actually. It's always good to be able to learn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and to have that opportunity.
Amazing. So you talk about faith, and faith often comes with purpose. Yeah. So how does your business express your purpose, and what what your vision is, or what you see in the future for young Pacific and Māori entrepreneurs?
I think for me, like being faith-based, it's kind of entailed for me to be of service to others and have a servant heart, and dedicate my time to helping others in need. What's so important, I feel like, for young aspiring entrepreneurs, especially Pacific, is representation. And I think we had this discussion before where me seeing you kind of like reignited the spark in me to be able to pursue my business again. And I feel like that's kind of what I want to dedicate myself to doing. Of course, having a business is amazing. The status of it, the meeting the new people, the networking, but I feel like the deeper purpose is that someone who looks just like me and younger than me is going to see me and be like, I can do that as well. Like, I can have my own business as well, because if she's doing it, then I can do it. And I don't come from like this lavish, upbringing. You hustle hard, right? And sometimes you just need to see that person who's hustling hard and it's paying off, and then aspire to do the same. So hopefully that is my main purpose, to be of service in that sense, where it's lifting the younger generation to do something that they haven't seen themselves do before, or that people don't really, the narrative of, you're just meant for this, meant to do that. I don't want that to be the case for those who are younger than me. I want them to aspire to be more and to do more. But yeah, hopefully, still got a long way to go. I feel like I'm still trying to find that path myself.
Yeah, but look, we're actually holding something that you've created. Talk us through, like, the without giving your secrets away, but just how you went from your concept. Was it something that you woke up one day and thought, I'm going to, create this flavor, like not flavor, but the actual shine, or how did you go about from a concept idea to actually us holding this and applying that in our lips?
I think for me, it was like understanding why I was making it and who I was making it for. Obviously, being of Polynesian descent, I knew I was like, okay, would make sense to make something that is suitable to a person of color, or to person of color. And so I would always do like my own research, like what color suits us. Probably not green, probably not purple. We definitely hit hard. Like a lot of the mamas wear bright red, sometimes pink, neutral tones, brown. So it was just kind of diving in a bit deeper, doing a bit of my own market research, and asking my family as well what they think looks good, because I feel like they are your biggest critics, biggest supporters, but also biggest critics. So they were really, really helpful with giving information, especially my little sister. The gloss was actually named after her, Trinity Gloss.
Gloss.
Yeah, so it's Trinity Gloss, made by Tiare Rose Cosmetics. So shout out to my sister, because she's actually probably the quality control manager. She's like, that doesn't work. No, that's not gonna suit. So a whole lot of that. And then I didn't want to compromise the quality of the product itself in terms of how it's supposed to nourish your skin. I mean, we're beautiful people, of course, and I think the most important thing is taking care of your skin, not the what's the word? Like, not the beauty itself, but it's the feel good reason. You want to feel good to look good, not
it's
just
the beauty
look
within.
Exactly
as well, not
and
just
it's not about, like, it's not the lip gloss that makes us beautiful. It enhances our beauty, praise the Lord, but it's not about hindering your beauty or hiding your beauty. It's just enhancing it even more. Like, you don't become a different person when you wear Tiare Rose Cosmetics. You're still the same person, it's just enhanced. And I think that was kind of the main focus for me and my sister. Then we did some trials, did some testing. We launched 5 colors in July. So we did a clear gloss, which was a big win. People, I think they just want simplicity and
they just want the shine.
They just want the shine. Yeah, they want the shine.
Like our lips this morning.
Yeah. And then the nudes, I did a dark brown, I did a pink, and then I did a like maroon burgundy.
So you're wearing maroon, and obviously I'm pink.
Yes. So still formulating, trying to get the perfect color. And there's still so many more products to be able to launch. But another awesome thing is that all the colors are actually named after my first girl cousins. So this one is actually called Mina. So she's my mum's sister's daughter, Salamina, and then yours is Tiangi. So I've named all my glosses after my first girl cousins. It's quite funny because they're like, when's, because I've only done 5, and I love, they're like, when's my one coming?
You've got lots of cousins.
It's coming. Hopefully soon.
So when you're talking about different shades, and what comes to my mind is the natural beauty that we have. We don't really need a lot of makeup.
No, we don't. Not really. I mean, there's nothing wrong though. But
but there's the natural beauty that comes through the easy pick it up.
Yeah, the convenience of it. Yeah. I mean, I'm so heavy. I'm so like, I love makeup gurus. I don't know how you have the patience to like. I just don't know. Yeah, I salute them. They're amazing. I've just always been the type of person to Probably because I'm always late to events, that I feel like I don't really have the time to sit there. And I'll be like, the event will be over by the time I get there.
Yeah.
So kind of having that convenience, and it's good for your skin as well, and it enhances your beauty. And I feel like the product itself is amazing, but I think the core value of my business is that it all stems from like wanting to do more for my people, and to, you know, take care of our skin. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah.
So do you think that eventually you'll branch out to skincare, or
I would love
yeah,
to.
that'd be great.
I would love to. I think one thing that I really don't want to do is kind of lose myself in this process.
That's good.
Because I've had a lot of people ask me when I was selling, and I will be selling soon, was that they wanted like lip plumpers, or like kind of like, and I wasn't really moving towards that gauge as of yet. So I do want to kind of stick to things that I know, which is like lip gloss. If I did move to skincare, it'd probably be body care, hair care. I'm a curly head girl, so I need a lot of hair care. But yeah, I definitely want to kind of stay within my own, like be myself in this space.
Awesome, amazing. I just love the feel. We're just so godly proud of you, for being able to just take an idea, take it to concept, get some market research, and then do the sourcing, packaging,
took a minute.
Branding. Took quite a few steps. I'm sure.
Took a tribe to get here. And I think that's another thing that's not highlighted in businesses, the amount of people that have been here. And I've had so many people support me on this journey, help me design this, help me, it's good to kind of have this experience, because then you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, but then you can also reach out to people who are willing to help you as well. So it's been nice to network as well in this space.
That's awesome. So, if you to give advice to some younger Pacific or Māori, or any young person out there looking and thinking, wow, that's amazing, look at what you've done, you've come such a long way, what would you say to them?
I probably would just encourage them, obviously, to take the leap of faith and to jump into, whatever it is that they're aspiring to be, or what their dream may be. But I think essentially it's important to remind them to start with your core first, because that will actually lead you. What comes in the Bible says, what comes from your heart flows out from your heart. So it's important to know what it is you're doing it for, if you're doing it for the right reasons, or if you're just doing it for the fame, the status. Because sometimes, I guess that's one of the potential results that could come from starting a business is you will become, when you do become successful, you don't want to let that get to your head and then you completely disregard the whole reason why you're doing your business. And I think it's important to take time to lay your foundation first and go over it heaps. And don't, because when you know why you're doing it, you're not gonna compromise anything. You're not gonna do something that you're not comfortable with doing just because of the money, or you're not gonna take brand deals. Look at me, like manifesting that brand deals will come.
It's manifesting.
Manifesting. And it's funny that, but people always say manifest, but I always say manifest because I rely on God to provide for me, not the universe, even though the God, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's another talk. But yeah, just kind of understanding their core first, and letting that guide them through, and not being afraid to take the risk. I think the hardest part, and a lot of people have told me this, is just starting, right? Because you care so much about the perfect planning, but actually that doesn't exist. By the way, perfect planning doesn't exist. Okay, you just gotta take a leap of faith, and then from there you then decide your pathway. Oh, that didn't work, okay, try this. That didn't work, try this. Each door will lead to a next door, so just keep going, keep walking through.
So good. Just on that, how did you take your very first step from being a non-business person to suddenly like, I got a business?
That's so interesting to say that. I had joined a program with the Sedans. Bianca, her name is Bianca, she was amazing, and she sent me what's the word? An advertisement to be a stall holder at Te Maivanui. It's like a annual Cook Island event, a cultural dance event. And had she not sent that to me, I don't think it would have kicked me into gear to start my business. Because I had always been thinking about it. Like, Tiare Rose Cosmetics was on my mind 2 years prior to launching. But once I signed up, because you had to pay for the storeholder fee as well, it's like, oh, I'm in now. You can't go back. Like, you got to do it. And so I did it. I think I had maybe a month and a half to prep, but I had the plans already like set in place prior. And then I just went hard. I went to the market, and it was so nerve-wracking because not only is it my first time in a market, it's my first time in a Cook Island market. So this is family and friends, and they can give you all the feedback, and I'm like, ah. But yeah, that's what's, sometimes you just gotta, it was kind of nice to have something to work towards. Because I think prior I was just like, oh no, I gotta find the perfect time. Oh no, this is, not ready, or my colors are not done yet. But once I had set in a market, set the market in place, I was like, oh, you gotta get ready now. Like, there's actually you can't run away from this because you've made a commitment, and it's your responsibility to actually show up. So that's, shout out to Bianca.
Absolutely.
And how important is that? I love how you were saying, if it wasn't for that, that was almost like the catalyst to really help you commit and then follow through, even though you were really like nervous and all that, never done it before.
No.
So that's really important, not only the resources around us, but also the commitment and the support. Talk a little bit about how important it is for other entrepreneurs to get together and encourage and support each other.
It's so important. And it's also like inspiring as well. Like, I think we all need to kind of get over that fact that there's enough space for everyone to win. And when you're doing something that someone else is doing, like, it's competition in the business sense, but it's like no one can do, like, I'm going to be honest, no one can do Tiare Rose Cosmetics the way I do Tiare Rose Cosmetics. No one can do PEP the way Marie and Simon do PEP. And so it's not like you're in competition with other people. You're in competition with your own thoughts. Your own mind. Like, they're trying to beat me. They're not. They're like, oh, maybe they are in like a business sense. But it's like, there's enough for everyone to win, and to be able to meet different entrepreneurs, I've been able to learn that. And like, oh, they have a different style, they have a different flavor, they have a system that works for them, and maybe I can try and include that in my brand, but do it my way, see how it works. Because essentially, as entrepreneurs, as owning your own business, you do it your own way. Like, nobody knows the back end, the purpose, the history. It's all on you. So it's been awesome, and there's so many connections and so many, like, you'll never find an entrepreneur who's not willing to give you advice. Like, that's what I've learned. I think when you see other entrepreneurs, they're like, yes, women, like, let me help you. Like, we just help each other, because it's just nice to see our people thriving in those spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Just the importance of the support, the networking, the network. Because you love networking, don't you?
It's a bit too much.
You really love networking.
Yeah, sometimes I think I network more than I sell my products, but that's okay because the brand is me.
Yeah, so you love networking, but it's also good to connect networking to sales or potential leads.
It is.
So it's just sort of turning up aimlessly or being intentional.
Exactly. It's so funny because from the market, like, I didn't really think, like, I wasn't going to explore different avenues after the market. I was just like, cool, I'll just do markets. But then I got people messaging me like, can we buy online? Do you have a website? I'm like, oh wow, like, I hadn't really thought that far. But it's always like that, hey? Like, the one door leads to the next door, to the next opportunity. Praise the Lord. So then moved into that space as well. And honestly, the sky is the limit when it comes to how you want to manage your business. Obviously, there's legal policies you have to abide by, but that's the boring stuff. But for me, because I cannot sit that long to read, because obviously I prefer talking, but just taking the leap of faith and just letting it flow you to the next destination. So that's been really fun, actually. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So, where to from now for Tiare Rose? I mean, how can people buy? Because obviously you want to sell.
Yeah.
You want people to buy this, this beautiful product.
Yeah, I am launching a website soon. I don't want to rush the process of perfecting the formulas for my products. And I definitely want to make sure it's inclusive of everybody. Because it's not just Māori and Pacific that buy for me. I had a few Palangis, Asians and Indians, and some from Australia that also want to buy as well. So just being considerate of the people that I'm marketing to. But definitely will be launching a website. I have an Instagram, Tiare Rose Cosmetics, where I'll be posting all the updates and the launch and the feedback that Maria will give. But yeah, so once that's up, then people can buy. I usually do, in the past, I usually have done it by launch rather than keeping product stock on hand, just because I noticed it goes straight away, so it's kind of hard to manage.
Sold out.
Yeah, so
you can say sold out.
Yeah.
You can say that it's sold out really fast.
Yeah, people, they really run for this. So just going to sort that out, how I would do it. Should I just keep stock on hand, or should I keep doing the launches? And I will be doing markets as well, because I love in-person interactions with my customers, with people in general, actually. Because it's
amazing.
So good.
That was
so unintended, but it's so cool. But that's what I love about this. It's just so free flowing. So we'll be doing some markets, and we'll be launching online as well, and maybe doing some collabs.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
really exciting.
I do want to be able to offer, in the future, God willingly, I would love to offer workshops for young females who are also wanting to either make their own gloss or learn how to get into entrepreneurship. I think that's so important to reach back and bring the next generation forward. I don't want to just keep walking along by myself. But yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Hopeful.
Yeah. So your final words, if you were to think about maybe a failure, because often we don't talk about failure.
Yes.
So we all talk about all the glossy, amazing stuff.
So
but
true.
often our failures is, they say it's an event, it's not a personal thing, but we can learn from it.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you were to take one failure or one event that's happened that perhaps didn't go well, just to finish off on a high, to taking it, how God can recycle anything that can be meant for, bad or evil, but we can, instead of being a victim, that we're able to turn it around, be a victor.
Yeah.
So is there an example that you can maybe perhaps share?
Oh, so many. I think when I think of failure, it's always internal. That matters, that kind of impacts me a bit more. I always think I'm not doing enough, or I haven't met the needs of that customer as much, and it would always get me down when I wouldn't meet a certain need, because I think I think internally I'm a people pleaser, but I just want to make sure that I'm helping, I guess. But all I can say is that the best lessons you get are in the valley. They are in the valley, and that is where the growth starts. And when you learn in the valley, you become unstoppable. You're just oh, that was it. But not really that was it. It's more I really went through that.
Yeah.
Throw me something else, and because when you're challenged, that means that the Lord is ready to give you the next step. Because in in James 1 verse 12 it says, "Blessed is the one that perseveres, because that person who has stood the test will receive the crown of life." And so all I can say is, when you're getting the sales and you're thriving on Instagram and you're getting all the followers, that is a blessing. But at the same time, when you're in the valley and you're in the depths of the struggles, that is also a blessing. And that's all I can encourage people to do, is simultaneously, the wins and the losses, they're both blessings, and especially in business, and I think on a personal level as well.
Absolutely.
So I think I just want to encourage everybody to humble yourselves, because it's not always going to be up. Sometimes it'll go down, and that's fine, because when you go down, that means it's time to rest, time to restructure, so that you can go up again.
Awesome. great advice. And there's nothing like, you know, real life challenges. And nothing like that you can speak deeply to with personal experience. Now, for those who are shy to promote themselves, because I know that you are not shy to promote yourself, which is great. But for those who may be shy, who don't even want to come on and do this, come on a podcast or come on and show their face and talk about themselves, you know, often we're very humble, our people, Pacific and Martin, you know, we prefer to be in the background and we don't really want to put ourselves out there, but you know, it's really important to promote and market so people do know who we are and what we do. So what would you say to those that may be watching that are doing entrepreneurship or starting their businesses but feel like they're just too shy and they don't want to, you know, come across, oh, look at me.
Yeah, true. Because that is hard, to like be like, I'm amazing and look at me, I'm doing so well. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's never really about. I know this sounds really mean to say, but it's not about you. I mean, it is about you because the purpose you're serving is amazing. But the reason why you're doing that is to help others. And I think if you kind of keep that at the forefront of your mind when you walk into these spaces, it's easier to free flow with sharing what it is that you do and not feeling so like held back. I feel like it's so difficult for people to come in front of the camera and talk about themselves like, hi, I'm Tiare, I'm 5 foot, I'm this and that. That is very weird. That's very like monotone, like, and very uncomfortable because then you what's that like? You kind of like subconsciously or consciously try and create your own like perfect narrative. And instead of doing that, just come in and remember your purpose, why you're serving, why you're doing it is that you're doing, and that'll be way easier to be able to promote your business, essentially. I don't know if that makes sense. I know that's always worked for me because I am a talker, which I love talking. I think I love talking more about serving others than I do talking about myself. And because when I start talking about myself, I'm like, ew. But that's normal. That's normal because, as you said, we're taught to humble ourselves and be considerate of others. But it's so much easier to talk about others and to explain why you're wanting to be of service, I think, in my personal opinion. So just remember your why and what it is that you're doing and how you want to make a difference in the people and those around you, because everybody wants to make an impact in some shape or form. And I think if you kind of just direct your energy towards sharing that instead of talking about yourself, hopefully that'll help you.
That's awesome. And God also wants us to shine bright into the world, right?
Amen.
Not to light our light and put and dim it down. It's really about other people, elevating others, celebrating others, which is why this is PEP Talk actually exists. It's really to amplify, you know, the success of our Māori and Pacific entrepreneurs or anyone that's actually led with purpose, like yourself. You know, I love the fact that, you know, it's not just, even though you've got your name on the Tiare Rose Cosmetics, you've got, you know, your cousins, you've got, you know, your sister Trinity, you've got this beautiful village who supports you. And that's the main thing. And honestly, you're a woman of faith, which is amazing, because without God we wouldn't be here. We acknowledge, you know, the Lord Jesus, because that's where we get all our gifting from and life from. So thank you so much for coming on. Are there any final words before we close off? Because you're our first guest.
Oh wow! Oh, pressure. No, there's so much pressure. I think the most important, I just want to say thank you to both of you. I think the work that you guys are doing is amazing for our communities, and I hope that the Lord continues to strengthen your gifts to touch many people, not only in Aotearoa but in the world. In the world, international PEP. Okay, anyways, but yeah, thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you.
Really appreciate being here today. And
thank you for coming early. And again, would you like to plug Tiare Rose Cosmetics?
Come through Tiare Rose Cosmetics, specializing in lip gloss, lip jellies, lip oils, lip scrubs to nourish and moisturize your skin and to enhance your natural beauty.
Fantastic. And what's that Instagram handle again?
Oh yes, Tiare Rose Cosmetics. At Tiare Rose Cosmetics.
Fantastic.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And again, thank you so much, Tiare Rose, for the opportunity to come on. And please, if you like this episode, please subscribe, give us a comment, or even recommend anyone else that's actually leading with purpose and passion. Until next time, we'll see you. See you next time. Bye. Bye.